And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hooray! We're talking about Dixit Oddysey, which also could be called Dixit 3. Because we've already seen Dixit, and then we had the expansion, which was called Dixit 2, and this is Dixit Oddysey. This is a standalone game. You could play with it by yourself, but if you have the first two come on, you know you're going to mix them together. Let's take a look inside the box and see if it's as good as the first one. Now, let's take a look first at the box. The box has enough space to fit all the Dixit cards in from all Dixit 1, Dixit 2, and Dixit 3. This isn't even, here's some more cards. So it easily fits, all of them fit into the original box. So let's talk about what's new in this game. Now this game actually, essentially it's the same as the original game with some changes in components. See, this game can go up to 12 players, and each player gets a board like this. And the way the game works, if you've never played any of the Dixits before, we will use this scoring board here. And you can see that it goes all the way up to 30. And what players will do is they'll take a token of their color and put it at the bottom of the board, and as they score points, they will move their rabbit up the board. Rabbits are the subtle or overt theme in Dixit, whether Dixit 1, 2, or 3. Each player will get a handful of cards. Now, I have to say, if you've never played a Dixit game before, you're in for a real treat because the cards have this unique, really weird, odd artwork. It's just strange. It's the kind of artwork that, you know, you look at and you say, what happened there? What are these people thinking about? As, you know, the designer, I don't know. I mean, it's strange and weird and a bit demented, but at the same time, it's fun and unusual. And so what you do is you'll take one person's turn. They're going to take and look at their cards. And they'll look at a card and maybe then they can say anything they want about the card. So they can say, ahoy, knights. Ahoy, knights. So that's my clue. So I put this card face down. And then everyone else puts a card in the middle of the table that they think matches ahoy, knights. We then place each card next to one of these numbers here in the middle. And for each player. So this is what it would look like for a 9-player game, going up from 1 to 9. Players then will take their peg board and they will place pegs secretly in the holes of the ones they think. Now you can do 2 pegs or 1 peg. If there's only 6 players or less playing, then you're only allowed to do 1 peg. If there's more than 6 players, you're allowed to do 2 different pegs. Or you can do 1 peg. If you do 1 peg, you'll get more points, but 2 pegs gives you a better chance. Now, I must mention that in my version, the pegs fall right out. They don't stay in at all, and they're much too long if they just actually stuck in there. However, I have read on the internet that they have corrected this problem, so if you get the game, your peg should, if you turn it upside down, they shouldn't fall out. We came up with all kinds of weird solutions where we were putting the pegs in upside down so that they would stay there or what have you. So, each player picks them secretly, but before they pick them, obviously, we're going to turn over all the cards. They've been shuffled up, and you're going to look at them and say which one is ahoy, knights. Now, in this one, for instance, everyone will look at all the cards, and they'll take a close look at each card and look at the artwork on them. And if you make it so obvious, let's say, for example, my clue had been objects found on the beach. Well, in that case, players are going to very much pick mine, because it's really obvious. And if that happens, if everybody picks yours, then everyone's going to get 2 points except for you. If no one picks yours, you don't get any points. But if at least one person picks yours, then you get points. Okay? You're going to get points for players who pick yours. Now, you're going to get points, 3 points if at least someone picks yours, and everyone else who picks yours will get 3 points. And then every other player will get 1 point for each person who voted for theirs. So for some reason, someone thought, oh, this is ahoy pirates, which is probably not true. They're going to get a point for each person who voted for them, and they can get up to 3 points that way. So you could get 3 points for people voting for your card, plus if you pick the right one, you get 3 points. So there's a real incentive to try and put cards down. And the whole game is about the clues that you guess. So you'll say, well, you're trying to say a clue that's somewhat obvious to somebody, but not obvious to everybody, because you don't want everyone to get it. And that's why I like that in the 2-player game, you can guess on 2 of these pegs. By the way, the scoreboards have the different artwork involved in the game, and it is a neat way. I like it better than the original way. So that's basically the game, and you keep going till one player gets to 30 points. There's also special rules for teams play. There's special rules for 3 players, and then there's this really odd player where you can tell a story without saying any card at all. Everyone puts down a card that they think matches your story the best, and then players will vote on it, and you vote, and players are trying to vote for the one that everyone else votes for, but not the one that you pick. It sounds kind of wonky, but some people like it. I'm pretty happy with the regular rules, the original way to play. So that's basically Dixit in a heartbeat. The new artwork on all the cards fits seamlessly with the old artwork, and I'm not going to show you all the artwork because I don't want to spoil all the pictures, but you can see a lot of it here, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of laughter and things found in this game. All right, here's what I like about this. New artwork. Woo! Love that artwork in the original game. Fantastic. And this one has more cool pictures, weird pictures like it. Secondly, it goes up to 12 players. That's crazy. That's awesome. Really neat. Okay? And thirdly, the idea of picking 2 people. I mean, the bigger groups are actually more fun, I think. The alternative ways to play, take it or leave it. Pegboard, boo. Bad production there. I'm still trying to think of a way to fix it so that we can use it in our game. But I will, and regardless of that, I would still recommend picking it up. Probably by the time this review's out, they have a fix out there as it is. If they do, I'll try to publish a link below this video. But what do you think of the game?
I like the game and how you try to think of a phrase. It's fun, and also because of how young I am, I'm always trying to think of what to do before my turn because I have a hard time thinking about the phrases.
Yeah, but Melody did well in a group and sometimes just picked one that just everyone thought was the correct answer. The game is a lot of fun, really. It's one of the best party games that come out, and now that it's expanded to, even more people, I'm just really excited about it. The fact that the box holds all the games so far. So, looking forward to seeing Dixit 4, but for now, we'll have fun playing this one.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.